Is promotion and relegation finally coming to the United States?
The USL is set to vote on the adoption of a promotion and relegation system in its lower division men's soccer structure, just like the promotion and relegation system in Europe.
I am concerned that the owners will actually not vote in favor of this. They don't want to do what's best for the sport. They'd rather do what's best for their wallets. However, as someone who just has discovered this beautiful game, you gotta have promotion relegation. It's an essential part of it, especially if we want to be dominant in the world of football, especially if we want to have good World Cup performances. We've got to have a robust system here of promoting and relegating and getting good talent. And you can't do that if you don't have the ability to move up between the ranks. Anyway, here we go.
As soon as next year, promotion and relegation might finally be coming to U.S. soccer.
And we all cheer.
Thought I'd explain what's going on, as well as give my thoughts on the whole situation, Pro-Rel in general, and if I think it's going to work. So first off, what's going on? So in about a month, on August 9th and 10th, all of the owners of USL teams are getting together in Colorado Springs and voting on the implementation of promotion and relegation within the USL. For those of you who don't know or need a little refresher, the current US pyramid kind of looks like this. We have the MLS sitting at the first tier of the pyramid. Then we have the USL Championship, the league in which I currently play in, sitting on the second tier, and then in the third tier we have 3 independent leagues. We have USL League One, NISA, and MLS Next Pro. So this vote is amongst the owners of these USL Championship teams and these USL League One teams. And they're basically going to vote and discuss if there's even enough interest amongst the owners to bring promotion and relegation between the USL Championship and USL League One, and possibly even another league that sits in between these two leagues, so that there's promotion and relegation between 3 professional USL leagues.
Oh,
and this is huge, not only for the USL, but US soccer in general, because ever since the creation of these leagues, there has never been promotion and relegation in any of them. As of now, if you want to...
And that's one of the major drawbacks of the sport, and it's one reason why many of you, my subscribers, can't get on board with what we're doing here in the United States, because we don't have relegation and promotion. At first, I was sort of on the train of, well, that's just the way we do things here. I love what you guys are doing over there. I don't think it will work here, but you know, shout out to you guys for what you're doing. And now I'm just seeing the essentiality of promotion and relegation. You've got to have it. I don't know if the Major League Soccer will ever implement it, but you know, if the USL can start this system, I think it'll be good for its growth, and potentially, you know, we could have a competing professional league over here. I would love to see it just be adopted across the board in our sports.
Bring a professional organization to your city, or you want your team to move up the ladder, you basically have to bid and buy in to these leagues and pay millions of dollars, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, to buy your way into this league as an expansion team. It gets a little bit more complicated than that, but that's a topic.
Yeah, it's the same way in the NFL.
Now, the main reason that USL owners want to bring Pro-Rel to these leagues is basically to boost interest and boost the popularity of the USL. I think everybody agrees that leagues with Pro-Rel are more exciting because of the higher stakes of getting relegated or getting promoted. So owners are guessing that by implementing this into these leagues, that's going to boost attendances, increase the fans, and just overall have more eyes on the USL. Like I mentioned before, there's currently only 2 professional USL leagues. There's the USL Championship and USL League One. And it's speculated that if Pro-Rel was brought to these leagues, they would bring in a 3rd league that would sit in between the USL Championship and USL League One, so that there would be 3 open leagues in the system with promotion relegation. The reason for this is because if there's just 2 leagues with Pro-Rel, it's not as exciting, and they think that mainly this is only going to work if there's 3 different leagues, so that there are higher stakes and not just bouncing between 1 and 2 leagues. If this hypothetical league does happen, it's rumored that a lot of USL Championship teams might drop down into this division, as well as some expansion teams, so that there's 3 equal leagues all competing in this open system. The craziest part about all this is that this could happen as soon as next year.
So there's going to have to be a restructure in the way the leagues are already situated right now. And I'm sure he's going to explain how that's going to work. But in order to create 3 leagues, you're going to have to do some resituating of where clubs sit. I don't know. I'm on board with it, man. As a fan, here's my thing about this whole conversation. As a fan, I see this as good for the sport, good for our communities. even to get local communities surrounded by a support of a club, rather than just a franchise. And I like our franchises. I think the NFL should stay the way the NFL is. It's the way it is, and Americans love it. Let's leave it as its own thing. But as we're trying to grow a new sport here for us, we're trying to get in the world of football. We've got to adapt the football system. And so I think it's good for the sport to do that, and now's the time to do that. My worry is that it's going to be too much of a shake-up, and the owners are not going to be in favor of it. I think I'm concerned that the owners won't vote for what's best for the sport, and they'll vote for what's best financially. And as a fan, I'm just, I'm praying that they vote what's best for the sport, and we'll see what happens.
Year 2024. However, there's also some speculation that the 2024 season, next season, in the USL Championship is going to determine which teams stay up in the USL Championship and which teams might drop down to this hypothetical middle league. Now, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, and I kind of already have at this point, to be honest, but this vote on August 9th and 10th of the owners is really a vote to just gauge if there's enough interest to bring promotion and relegation to these leagues. This is just starting to put the wheels in motion. This is like step one of a 100-step plan, but it is step one.
All I can see is these owners of MLS teams looking at this and going, man, if we adopt a promotion relegation system, we can potentially lose out hundreds of millions of dollars. We don't want to do that. And since Americans already have no concept of promotion relegation, like it's not something that we know about, then I don't think that the owners have any reason to do that, because they understand that most Americans are just going to accept mediocre to poor performance from their clubs because we don't have a concept that they could get relegated. I'm very much excited about the potential of having promotion relegation in the United States. What are your guys' thoughts on promotion relegation for the USA? Are you pro-rel? Are you pro-well? Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Smash the like button on this video if it brought some value to you. If not, then just leave. That's it. You don't have to leave an angry comment. You don't have to hit the dislike button. You can just leave. I'd be grateful. And who am I kidding? If you didn't like this video, you're not even watching right now.